Hello, hello. This is your boy Curtis. Welcome to Boys to Man. I have a very special guest. I have my sister, my friend. Her name is Trivia Kennedy. This woman is a blessing like no other, just because she has a story to tell. And with no further introduction, please, Trivia, introduce yourself.
Hey, so my name is Shatrivia. I guess Shatrivia Kennedy. I have 4 children, 20, well actually 19, 14, 11, and 6. I've been HIV positive for 14 years now. It's actually been 14 years in like 2 weeks.
14 years and 2 weeks, so you've been on the countdown.
Yeah, actually wow. I have been on countdown.
Wow, that's awesome, that's awesome, that's awesome. And before we do anything else, I do want to let you know we are in Hammond, Indiana at the Hammond Rec Center. Man, this is an awesome thing that they got set up for the community. Please come out, check it out, where we everybody in the exercise zone. All that being said, HIV 14 years. And this is why this is a special guest, because it takes a strong person to release anything. So even with that trivia, what inspired you? What inspired you coming out there? You said 14 years, right? And you recently just came out with this information.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
A couple days ago. So what was your inspiration, and who was your inspiration for you to come out after 14 years, 2 weeks?
Actually, me.
You? Okay.
Me first. I think I've been wanting to do it for many years. Long time ago, God had already told me that this wasn't happening to me for no reason. You know, that other people's lives is going to change from it. But by me going through so much mentally, I was never going through physically. It was always a mental challenge for me. So after all those years, I decided to leave a relationship that I was in. And when I left the relationship, because of leaving the relationship, my life changed when I left. So it opened my mind up, and I was like, you know, it's time for me to become free. I need to become free, because I started to feel different. Like, I should do this. Like, I've been writing a book. You really should do this. You can do this.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? You need to do what God told you to do. And the best time to do it would be December the 1st on World AIDS Day.
Okay.
So I decided to get it done. It was a lot of anxiety.
I can imagine.
I was scared. I was fearless. I actually told myself no several times.
Okay.
But
so it's kind of like a battle leading up to it.
That old me versus the person I knew that I was going to become. We was fighting.
Okay.
And I just had to get it done. So I just did it.
Okay. So you saying even leading up to the time that you came out, it was already a work in progress. You was already, it seemed like you was building different things to even lead you to that moment.
Yes, I had to. I think I had to let go of who I was in order so that I could be who God been told me I was gonna be.
Okay.
But when you've been fighting for something for so long, you want that so bad, so you don't want to let it go. And the moment I actually let it go,
wow.
I knew I had to do it. It was like, it's one of them things where you know,
wow.
like, you know how you got to go to work because you got to take care of your kids.
Okay.
It's nowhere around it. You tired. You don't want to go to work. It was one of those feelings. You have to do this, because if you don't, you'll die. That's how I felt.
Wow. So you had no other options.
No other options.
No other options.
None.
So obviously your spirituality that holds a lot of rank in your life, what it seems like. Obviously I know you, but as far as the world, and I say this because anytime you're dealing with old and new, as you stated, it's gonna be a battle. So with that battle, how did you, once again, you dropped some heavy gems on the world. I mean, you took the world by storm. I saw your page. I mean, I think in 24 hours, you had like 8,000 views and multi-hundred comments. I mean, it was nuts. In 24 hours, you got so much love, so much response, so much support, but just getting there, you know, I know it was a challenge. So how did you actually just jump into this thing? Like, you know what, I know I got to do it, period. I know you got a whole family. I know it was backlash that you have to be concerned about. What, because it's so many people. Awareness is one thing, becoming vocal is another thing. What, I know you said your spirituality. But how can a person match it up from?
You make me nervous. Because I'm remembering the moods.
Okay.
I was going through as you talking about different things. I'm remembering. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I'm remembering it.
Yeah. And for a person, because somebody out there got a story. Somebody out there want to share their story. Somebody want to be free. Help them be free. So what made you take your spiritual strength, that natural strength, and say, you know what, showtime, period?
Oh my God. So I knew December the 1st was coming up. So I think around November the 1st, I had to go in spiritual warfare with myself for forgiveness.
Okay.
If you can remember, Pastor. We talked on the phone and you prayed.
Yes.
And we talked about forgiveness. And right after that, I went to YouTube and I did a devotion. I think I did 7 days of forgiveness. And I talked to my kids. I talked to my close friends. I told people that was important to me what I was going to do. And everybody was like, you going to do that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it out the way. And like always, my family, friends, everybody's so supportive. So I said, okay, so the day when it was coming up to it that day, I actually did it in silence first.
Oh, wow.
I did it in silence.
Okay.
I got a YouTube channel. I only had maybe 70 subscribers, so I did it there.
Okay.
Knowing nobody really would see it.
Okay.
I did it at midnight.
Okay.
So then I was driving and I said, you know what? You a chicken. You're a punk. You can't be a punk. Your life is gonna change. It's over with. Get it done. Because I had already knew, I have a platform on Facebook already. I'm always talking positive. I'm always uplifting people's spirits. I do it anyway. So I was sitting in the car and God said, right now, it was raining, cats and dogs. I'm saying it was raining so hard this morning. It just was raining. And God said, right now, don't move this car. Don't move the car.
Wow.
And I when I went on and started, I was nervous. I was so nervous I couldn't breathe. I just was talking. I was all over the place. And God said, set yourself free. Set yourself free right now so that you can be who I created you to be. And I still wouldn't say the stuff he was telling me to say. And he said, people need this. People need to hear this. He said, stop suffering in silence. And when I said stop suffering in silence, it opened me up to say whatever God told me to say. So I think what actually made me become free that day was God reminding me of my pain. My pain wasn't in vain, that it was gonna save somebody else's life. So I just went for it. Then I was hot. I said whatever God said, I just did it.
Once you said what you said, now I want to tell the world what you said again. 2019, no more suffering in silence. If y'all don't get nothing else out this interview, no more suffering in silence. And also, there's levels to this. You said you had your own YouTube page and you did not air to the public like that. You had your small platform.
Yeah.
You got a big platform overall, but in this particular area, it seems like it's blowing up now.
Yeah.
That YouTube,
Yeah.
but small platform, you prepared yourself.
Yeah, I did.
So it sounds like anytime you're doing something bigger than yourself, you gotta put them bricks on that. You know, you just doing it scared is one thing, but I think it's the season where being scared is time out now. We're walking off faith, not by sight.
Another thing I think had to happen when I did the forgiveness and God was talking to my soul, I had to be removed from what I was finna do.
Okay.
Because if you really think about it, I did not tell my story.
Yes.
My story has not been told yet.
Yes.
Nobody know what happened to me. Nobody know the actual pain that I experienced and why I experienced the pain. But God told me to speak about the pain.
Yeah.
The pain is what I talked about. I didn't talk about a story. We just know I have HIV and I went through some stuff and I endured pain, and my pain became the power to say what God told me to say. So I had to be removed from my situation so that I could do that. Because if I wouldn't have removed me, I would have talked being bitter. I would have talked being angry.
Oh, yeah.
I would have talked in all this other stuff that God didn't want me to. He didn't want me to do it from that place. He wanted me to humble myself down and speak about pain. Because when you speak about pain, you can reach people. But when you speak of being messy and being angry and being unforgiving, people can't see that. That makes them more mad and more angry.
Yeah.
But when you speak from pain and I'm delivered from this, I'm not gonna do this in silence no more. And y'all don't either. That's what helps people. That's what helps change people's lives.
So you're the new and improved Mary J. Blige. Huh? That's what But give us a little rundown as far as what it is that you may deal with, the not so good times of having HIV. What type of challenge, even the good things that comes out of it, but what type of challenges, what type of experience do you have, if any difference, you know? Because some people, it's so different stigmas out there. People wondering, what's this, what's that? Kind of inform us the different experience that a person with HIV will deal with.
I'm sorry, Nicole. Well, you know, for me, I have never experienced somebody treat me some type of way. So even when I didn't expose myself, like I said, my mother exposed me. She told her I was positive. Didn't nobody treat me different, so I didn't receive that. Then when I told people my job, I didn't receive it in a bad way. So I never got that backlash from it. But for me, my challenges was always, nobody's gonna love me. Nobody's gonna take me serious. They're gonna just look at me like, she got that, she got that, or whatever. Wow. So my only one challenge was that I felt like I wouldn't be loved and I wouldn't be able to love somebody the way that I desired love, because forever, I've always wanted love. I just wanted somebody to love me, and I loved them, and I thought that was over with. So that's one challenge I had. Wow. And I never had a physical challenge. I always been okay. I just started taking medication maybe about now 2 years ago. Just started taking medication, so I didn't have that challenge of the physical thing, but mentally, the mental
break it down more than anything.
Exactly, the mental. Sometimes I'm like, why I just can't get sick? Because the mental part was a lot for me, because I went through a lot of anxiety. I went through a lot of depression, thinking ain't nobody gonna love me. Then I'm going through these different things in the relationship that makes me feel less than, unworthy, unappreciated. So now I'm going through these emotions. So I have always had my negative from HIV is always looking at myself like I wasn't going to be able to get what I know that God said He could give me. Wow. So that was my only challenge. So now the good part about it is that that's the crazy part. The good part about me being infected.
Good and bad with everything, y'all. All things work together.
My good part for myself has always been, I have HIV, but it don't have me. I got 3 kids that's negative, all of them. I just started taking medication. My numbers have always been fine. Always. I'm undetected. I can't infect somebody because my numbers is undetected. My viral load is low. That meaning I don't have a lot of that infection in my body because I take care of myself. That's a good thing. That's always been a good thing for me. When I go to the doctor, I only be there like 10 minutes. You know, I don't have a long, drawn-out conversation like I'm a sick person. I don't. And the best part about 2 more things, that's the best thing for me. One of them is I have an amazing support system. And I think with anything, a support system is always good. So I have an amazing support system. When I say friends, family, social media, I have an amazing support system. That has been very good for me. And the last thing is that I have God. I've always had God. God has always been with me through all of it. All the pain, the hurt, the fear, the regret, everything I have experienced. God was with me, and He was telling me that this is not happening for no reason. So I always knew within my pain, within what I was experiencing, that God said I'm gonna be all right. So at some point I'll be all right after I suffer. So that was a good thing for me, knowing that God was still with me.
Wow. So, and you started off with love. Love was your biggest concern coming out, and it seems like you're suffocated with love now. Like you've been loved on. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. And for those who may be having challenges on wanting to express it to the world, express it to your family, hear from their sister. I can imagine even more I guess with anything in life, if you feel like if you're gonna expose something that somebody may not understand, agree with, you may feel like it may take away your relationships or lack of love or self-esteem. I mean, so many different things. Because so many times we think, like abuse, right? We think it's just one type of abuse, which is physical.
Right.
You know, it's emotional, it's mental, and it's amazing that sometimes different circumstances can put us in a mental state of mind of being abused.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the freedom comes in, right?
Yes.
You're done abusing your own mentality. The world already kind of beat you down in a sense, And now with certain things, you're like, you know what, let me just free myself from all of this. Because you brought up relationships, you freed yourself from that.
Everything.
You freed yourself from the mental. I mean, you just walking around free.
When you just said people may be suffering and they may be going through things, and they may want to become free, or they may want to expose themselves. The first thing I thought about was, in order for me to do what I did that day, I had to look at myself, and first thing, accept myself, because I have not never accepted I have HIV. I always lived through my relationship and I was fine.
Wow.
But the moment when I went in one, I started to look at myself like, ugh.
Wow.
So I had to say, Shatrivia, you have HIV, but it don't have you, honey.
Wow.
So now after you accept yourself, you have to know. You have to. This is why it's so vitally important for people to understand that the Bible is just not words. It's just not words. Those words in there speak value. You have to know God's promises. You have to know what that means. You have to find your scripture and make it be a part of your soul. And because I knew what the word said, I knew who I was. And the moment I said, you know what, you got HIV, but you know who you is in God, and nobody took that away from you. So it does not matter. So for people that may want to become free, you have to know. You have to accept yourself. I am an abused person. I've allowed somebody to abuse me. I have this infection. I have this disease. But you know what? I accept me where I'm at. I forgive myself, and I know who I am in God. Then you can become free. You can't become free holding on to that. You have to let that stuff go. And that's what I was able to do. I had to let all of those things go. Like you said, just let it go and become free.
Amazing. Amazing. Let it go and become free. What more can we say about that? Even with that last topic, and thank you so much. You've been an amazing guest with this. Even with the whole setup, I'm happy that we have an opportunity to walk around with early Hammond folks. I mean, we out here doing our thing once again. Even before we get into our last topic, once again, I know all things work together. You are part of a health line. Tell us about that, because you're looking flawless, by the way. So holler at us. What are you doing? What is some of your secrets?
It's so crazy that you bring this up. So I actually have not shared this with nobody else.
Oh, wow.
I haven't shared this with nobody else yet. About 4.5 years ago, I started, when I was going to the doctor, they started saying my numbers was dropping. Mm-hmm. So your viral load is how much of the infection is in your blood. Okay. So my numbers always used to be like 700 and 800. So my numbers started going down to like 600 and 500. So that's trivia, something going on, let's run some tests. So they ran tests. They didn't see anything. Like, you're perfectly healthy. So they're like, I don't know, maybe lose some weight. Let's see if that'll change. Okay. So I said, okay. But I didn't tell my family, nobody worried about me. So I saw a girl on Facebook. She had lost weight. I slid through her inbox. I said, what you do? Okay. She said, I did these wraps. I said, how you get them? Okay. And I bought the wraps. Okay. And I saw my stomach change. Okay. And then I started working out and walking like we doing right now. I started walking. I started just doing different things. So then I went to the doctor and they said, you lost, they said 15 pounds. I said, you lost 27 pounds. Wow. I'm like,
you're just an overachiever, huh?
Oh yeah, I have to do, I'm a Virgo, that's what we do. I'm a Virgo. So they was like, we gonna run tests. They ran tests, nothing. They said, you're perfectly healthy. We don't understand what's going on. Wow. So I said, okay. So they said, keep losing weight. So then we did that for a whole year. I had got down to 60 pounds. I lost 60 pounds. Wow. And it was so amazing. I wound up joining the business because I joined the business because I know how I felt. Other people felt that way. Low self-esteem, low self-worth. And when you're in a relationship and you get cheated on, that make you look at yourself some type of way. So I joined the business, and immediately when I joined the business, every customer I get, husband cheating on them, boyfriend cheating on them, girlfriend cheating on them, and I am ministering to them. Wow. Like, look, you're gonna lose this weight and you might start cheating. I'm just gonna let you know. And they like, no, not me. Yeah. 2, 3, 4 months, they come tell me, girl, you weren't lying. Wow. Now I have to tell them what to do and how to get that. I help relationships through this business, so I realized that the business was my ministry all the time. Nobody never knew why I love It Works so much, because It Works changed my life. I did it to lose weight because of my numbers, but actually I feel like God allowed me to see It Works to open me up in a different way. I joined that business. I lost weight. I help people with their relationships. I became an entrepreneur. Now I want to do other things.
Sound like a life coach as well.
Yeah, that too. So it opened me up.
And one thing that really stood out because it's funny, and thank you for bringing this up, because then we're gonna hit our last topic. A lot of times we change and get healthy, and we start looking good and feeling flat, and then we start, whatever the gifts that God gave us to be renewed, we start giving it over to the devil, and we start doing things that we have no business doing. So I think it's awesome that not only you're helping in the natural, you're helping in the mental, but you're helping in the spiritual. You helping a person stay in order. You know, don't just get your gift, don't just get your health, but get your life. You know what I mean?
Get your life.
Who said that? Get your life.
Get your life.
I think that's Tamar. Get your life.
Get your life.
Don't ask me how I know that, by the way, y'all. But last but not least, though, where are you going now? Where it seems like the sky's the limits, because once again, you have people knocking down your door. I mean, you got so many people reaching out for interviews. You got your book coming out. I mean, people, you a commodity. I'll put it like that. And I thank you for allowing me to be the first to interview you. I mean, because people is really want to hear your story. I mean, you ain't even get to the meat of it yet. I mean, but where are you headed now when it comes to life after the new you, the free you?
The new you. The first thing I want to say is, you know, when it comes to giving your tithes, you got to get God first. You got to get Him first. So as I was agreeing to all these things, and do this, interview this, and I had to stop for a second and say, you know what? This ain't of God. You got to get God first. So me doing this interview to me meant more to me because it's spiritual. Me coming out is more spiritual than it was anything. So that's why I had to do this first. So now that this is over, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over with.
Change, because it's coming,
so
y'all.
I got so many people all over the world inboxing me, and I just want to say thanks for all of the love and the support. It's mind-boggling to think that, to know that those 14 years of suffering in silence, like God always told me that I wasn't doing it for nothing. That He didn't say how, but He told me I was gonna help people. And to know that this platform that I've had, I was able to touch people. It really makes me feel like I made God happy. I made Him proud, and I made Him famous, which He's already famous anyway. But through me and my little self, I'm a nobody that had to tell somebody about what God did for me. So that meant a lot. So now what I want to do is, first thing I want to do is drop my first book, the devotional about hope. I'm going to do that first. I'm going to drop that book first, and then I'm going to drop my actual, a part of my testimony, a part of my story. I'm going to do that next. But I want to become certified to take HIV tests. I want to become certified to be a life coach. I want to become certified to be an HIV advocate. And I want to start a non-for-profit organization and start speaking. Of course, become a motivational speaker and start speaking in these churches, in these high schools, places like this. Anywhere, where God tell me to go. I want to do that. I'll do interviews, but I won't speak about certain things. I will only speak in regards to what God tell me to speak about, and that's just how I want to do it. I don't want to use what happened to me as a messy situation. I want to use it for God's glory. So I won't answer certain questions, and I really appreciate it if y'all don't ask me certain stuff. But other than that, I just want to be a blessing for people. I don't want to be a CNA no more. I don't want to be a CNA no more. And not only that, I have different business that I do. I am not just a girl that woke up one day and said, I'm going to tell the world I'm HIV positive. I am just not her. That's a part of who I am. But I am, like I said, I'm a mother. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a credit repair agent. I help people repair their credit. I help people become healthier and happier through a health and wellness company. Right now, I'm trying to help my kids with their t-shirt line, which will be a part of my line too, because I'm thinking about this suffering in silence, maybe one of my brands. You know, so I'm doing other things too, in a sense to put this is my thing. When I started It Works, and I saw the money people was making from helping people get healthy. So I'm like, hold up, I can do that. And I can put money together for my kids. And my kids won't have to go through what I've been through. And then I started thinking like, wait a minute, I'm gonna get old and get sick. I won't go to a nursing home. I can get the best insurance, and I can be at the crib. They can pay somebody to come take care of me. So I started looking at things like that. So I just want to secure the bag so that me and my kids can be straight, but at the same time help God's people. So that's the direction that I'm going in.
So sound like elevation to me. Don't just get the bag, but she here to secure the bag.
Yeah.
I mean, the bag is already happened.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's been awesome. Thank you once again, Trivia Kennedy, for your time. Oh it's been a blessing. Everybody, I believe this woman need a applause just off the simple fact it takes strength. Close us out. If you can just speak to the person that's like you, or that was like you, let me add, as far as suffering in silence. Speak to that person that's suffering in silence. What would you say to that person to help them to stop suffering in silence?
The first thing, a couple of things. It's kind of crazy.
Go ahead.
First thing I want to say is scripture. Trust in God with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Trust in Him and He'll direct your path. I think that's, what is that, Matthew 3 and 5, is it? Matthew 3 and 5. That's the first thing. You have to trust God, regardless of what you're going through. I'm talking about you could be going through anything. You have to trust God. And you got to have hope. You got to have hope that your situation could become better. So trust and hope is those two things I really potent to you right now. If you going through some stuff, you got to know you're not alone. It's other people that's going through this. Other people is suffering. And another thing, you got to know that God loves you. And nothing. A lot of times we go through stuff and we beat ourselves up because we allow certain stuff to happen to us, or we did a certain thing that caused us to be in a situation. So we beat ourselves up and we feel like, what's why? Because I went through the suicidal thoughts and why am I living? I'm not good enough. And just going through all these different emotions, but you have to know that God loves you. Nobody is perfect. Nothing separates us from the love of God. Nothing. It's nothing that you could have had done that will separate you from God's glory, from God helping you, God loving you. Nothing at all. Once you get that, I think that's the meat of everything for me. Like, I don't know no other words. And that's the thing, like, I know people like, what you do, how you do. I don't have other words other than God's words. I don't have anything else but God. And my days of crying, being sad, wanting to kill myself, the anxiety, the depression, all I had was God's word. All I knew is that He loved me. And I'm like, why He love me? I'm like this. Ain't nobody else. He said, I love you. I love you. I put you. It's a scripture that say, I knew you before the foundation of the world. If God knew you before the foundation of the world, and you're experiencing this, it's meant for you to go through this, so that you can become. This is always my thing. We go through things so that we can become who God predestined us to be. They say, many are called, but few are chosen. So if you're going through some stuff, you just might as well get happy. You might as well get happy if you're going through some stuff. Get happy because you one of God's chosen children, and you're gonna do amazing things. I can't give you another word. I'm sorry. I don't have no baby. Just be okay. I can't tell you that. All I had was the Bible. I'm sorry, y'all. That's it. I ain't got nothing else.
All power, y'all. All power. That was powerful. In closing, I want to say thank you for allowing me to be a spiritual leader to you, allowing me to be a pastor to you. Thank you just for allowing me to share your energy, to share your love, to share your world. So I personally appreciate you. You guys, once again, it's been a blessing. Voice Man representing 2019. We doing big things. Love you guys. God bless.